Okay. Hi, everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about home drug screenings. This one in particular is a one-step rapid drug test or rapid drug screening test for nicotine. Now, what is it? The test is an in vitro diagnostic test for the qualitative detection of nicotine, or COT for short, and that is an alkaloid that is found in tobacco. It is the predominant metabolite of nicotine, and it is often used as a biomarker. It has a minimum sensitivity cutoff level, meaning the point at which the drug can still be identified, but still have the lowest amount of false positives, and that would be at 200 nanograms per milliliter. So how does nicotine affect us? It can be either smoked or chewed, classic cigarettes to the modernized e-cigarettes or using dip, and they all follow a general mechanism. So depending on the method of absorption, they can either then be absorbed into the lungs or buccal and nasal epithelium, into the bloodstream, and then the brain. Then they are metabolized into 20 metabolites and excreted in our urine. Being that nicotine is fairly stable in our bodily fluids, it has a relatively long half-life of 17 hours, which compared to some of the other drugs that somebody might be testing for with these home tests, is fairly long, making the test easier to do, or maybe not as helpful for others. But so the level of nicotine present in a sample depends on the individual's exposure. An individual who doesn't smoke would have less than 10 nanograms per milliliter in their system, whereas somebody who's a light smoker or who is exposed to minimal amounts of secondhand smoke might have between 11 to 30 nanograms per milliliter. And then a heavy smoker could have anything from there up to 500 or even more nanograms per milliliter, which is a lot. To get a comprehensive analysis of the nicotine in a sample, you could do various methods such as gas chromatography or use HPLC mass spectrometry. But for individuals who just need a quick and easy form of detection, they can go to their local drugstore or purchase these tests online and do them at any time. So how does the test work? It is a one-step amino assay that is based on highly specific immunochemical reactions between the antibody and the antigen. It uses chromatography of a urine sample, and it comes with a membrane strip that has been pre-coated with nicotine antigen at its test region and a gold conjugate nicotine antibody at the other end of the strip. Once the strip is exposed to the urine, the gold conjugate antibody and the urine will travel across the strip towards the test line by capillary action. And if the urine is nicotine-free, meaning that the individual has not been smoking, then a line will form at the test line region. And this is because the antibody will form a complex with the antigen. But if the urine is nicotine-free, meaning that if the urine has nicotine in it, meaning that the individual has been smoking, then a line will not form at the test region because the nicotine will compete with the antibody for the limited binding sites, and no complex will be formed between the antibody and the antigen. There is another antigen and antibody reaction that also occurs in the control region of the test, and this is just to indicate that the test has been working properly. And regardless of how the test comes out, whether it's positive or negative, there should always be a line at the control region. And then also the pink band serves as its indicator to show either that the volume added is sufficient or there has been proper flow. So, like I said before, if the test comes out positive, you will see no band in the test region and just the one band in the control region. And then if the test comes out negative, you will see two bands, one in the test region and one in the control region. Now, regardless of how dark or faint the test line region thing is, it does indicate a negative result. So any line at all. And then a test can be considered invalid if it has either one or no lines, but it has to mean that there is no line in the control region. So even if one shows up in the testing region, if there isn't one in the control region, then it's invalid and should not be used. So how to take the test. All of the samples need to be equilibrated to room temperature. So this might be if someone asks you to take a sample and you store it in the fridge temporarily while you're out to go get the test or something. Or if someone just, is working in a lab and they have multiple samples and they're being stored. They need to be brought down to room temperature first. And then you would open the foil patch at the notch, remove the testing device, and if you have multiple specimens, make sure to label them so you know what's what. Then hold the dropper vertically, add 3 drops of urine into the sample well or until the well is full, and then you will begin to see results between 3 and 4 minutes. The positive results will come a little bit sooner, about 3 minutes, and then the negative results, they take a little bit longer, between 3 and 4 minutes. But after 5 minutes, you do not want to interpret any of the results. The test is no longer valid. So for production of these tests, they are available to professionals or to the local consumer. Like I said, you can stop on by to your local drugstore, like Walgreens, and there they cost about $20. Or you can order them online. They come individually packaged and ready for any time. I saw online they're about $4.50 each, but they do require you to buy a minimum of 5 tests, so that kind of balances out depending on what you're looking for. And then why is this important? Why are people testing? Besides the fact that nicotine is one of the most addictive drugs used today, the addictive kick that is caused by the stimulation of adrenal glands results in a rush of adrenaline, and it also activates your reward pathway, which can reinforce the behavior and release feelings of pleasure, which would make sense why people are addicted. But smoking has reported to kill about 8 million people a year, according to the World Health Organization, and only 6% of those smokers are actually able to quit a year. So it is highly addictive, and people might be testing themselves, hold their partner accountable, or if you're a rebellious teenager, or, for health insurance reasons, they are more likely to give you a lower rate if you are not prone to die from diseases like lung cancer. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. Thank you. Yeah, how do I stop this? No? Okay. Well, no.